If you have a banana, apple, sugar, and your insulin spikes, you won't burn any fat. It's going to limit fat breakdown. Kind of. Now, insulin plays a key role in suppressing the breakdown of body fat, as evidenced by research of PubMed ID 226442. Now, elevated insulin levels result from carbohydrate intake and inhibition of lipolysis. Now, this leads to some people thinking that carbs don't promote fat loss, and when you don't have carbs, then you actually lose more fat. Despite the relationship between carbs, insulin, and fat breakdown, losing body fat on a high carbohydrate diet is possible. Whoa, my head's blowing up. This is crazy, right? Carbs are not the evil. The primary factor in fat loss is not insulin levels total, but the daily caloric intake throughout the day, where a calorie deficit is crucial. Now, the body recognizes two truths. Number one, high insulin levels prevent fat breakdown. Number two, a caloric deficit causes fat loss. Now, in these scenarios where both conditions exist, the body prioritizes the caloric deficit for fat loss despite elevated insulin levels. An analogy to this demonstrates this principle. A diet of 1,200 calories per day from pure sugar, it creates a caloric deficit and results in fat loss despite high insulin levels throughout the day. Sorry, carbohydrate-insulin model people, theory doesn't work. Now, similarly, the body can prioritize fat burning during exercise after a high carbohydrate pre-workout intake by lowering insulin levels once physical activity begins. Crazy. Now, what are the practical applications for you? Focus on maintaining a calorie deficit is more important than avoiding carbohydrates for fat loss. High insulin levels from carb intake do not necessarily prevent fat loss if a caloric deficit is maintained. Including carbohydrates in a diet even before workouts can be compatible with fat loss goals and helps your brain too, helps you move better, as long as overall calorie intake is controlled. Now, understanding the body's ability to prioritize caloric deficit over insulin levels can guide more effective and sustainable diet planning. You're welcome.